Often I am asked which tools I use for working on watches. Now, you guys got to understand, I'm a novice. I'm like a novice enthusiast of modding watches, if you will. So, I started out with junky tools, and I don't unfortunately have one of the cheap spring bar tools that I started out with, but the more I've worked on them and I understood how you've increased your chances of being successful, both with the knowledge, but certainly with having better tools. And I don't even want to say the right tool, because you can make any tool the right tool for the job if you know exactly what you're doing. But I don't know what I'm doing. So I want to stack the odds in my favor by using better tools. Now, these are better tools. These aren't the best tools. Like if you go talk to or, visit a watchmaker, they'll have some amazing tools. But that's like going to a mechanic shop and they literally have tens of thousands of dollars in tools, and you think your Craftsman wrench does the exact same thing, and it doesn't. It is not the same thing as some of the higher end mechanics tools. I know I have some buddies that are mechanics, and their tools are legit better than my Huskies or Craftsman that are out in my toolbox out in the garage. So there's different levels, and I just wanted to kind of show you some of the stuff I use on a regular basis when I'm building a watch or modifying. And you got to understand too, the way I'm doing them is super simple. I've gotten to the point now where I like to do the turtle swaps. So I'm not even doing any hands or anything like that. I'm not doing the dials or hands. It's super fast. It's super easy, and it requires fewer tools. I won't have to use, a hand puller, and I won't have to use the hand setting tools. So depends on how you want to do it, at what level you want to do it. But I can say the tool I use at the absolute most is a spring bar tool. This is a Bob Labs. And again, I'm just kind of showing you the tools that I use. I may or may not be able to at some point put it down in the description, links to all of them or anything like that. I don't have any affiliation with any of these tool companies or places that I buy them from. I'm just sharing with you guys. So I would easily say grab yourself 2 or 3 really good spring bar tools. These are, the 6767. This is the 7767, the newer one. 7767. But I go with the fine tip one. You can see I've already even broke that one. So I may need to order some extras of those. This one's still in good shape. So those get used often, and I do probably use them the way they're not intended to be used. You can see that one's bent. I push out split pins and pin and collars and all that stuff. I use them for sizing bracelets. I use this thing, which is a super cheap block. I'm actually going to invest in probably some nicer blocks for holding your bracelets as you're sizing them. But and then I don't know where I got these tweezers, but they're aluminum tipped, so a little bit softer metal, but they're really nice for gripping. And I'll use these sometimes, often, for pulling out pins or doing some miscellaneous stuff. So I do use some of my spring bar tools and those tweezers. Get yourself a good screwdriver kit. There's other good kits out there. This is just the kit that I picked, and I've already even kind of messed these up. So it might be nice to have some redundancy. The more you're going to mess with it, the more you're going to need them. I used to use one of those cheap setting presses for dial or for hands. And then ever since I switched over to this style where I'm in control of it, a little more detailed, I've been way more successful. So I prefer these things here. And they have pretty much every size. There's a hole there, so you can go down over the post and still clear it. I just received this guy today. I've not been able to use it. This is the 30636-1. So this should be the good one it should have a really nice fine teeth down there for popping off handsets. So and you can see it's made it up like really good. It's got good deflection and everything. So I'll be using that here real soon for a mod I'm doing. Of course, you need a good case back tool. I just recently, I believe, upgraded to these. You know, using this cheap one here still works. There's techniques you can use to minimize damaging your watch, but going with these is a nicer option. And then I also have, there's a couple different companies out there that make movement holders now. This is a Murphy's, I believe, is it? Yeah, Murphy bezel or whatever. This is one I bought off them, but I see there's a few different manufacturers of them now. So this is actually super handy when you're doing the dials and the hands and stuff. So that comes in play. You definitely have to have some, what is it called, Radico. And this stuff kind of goes bad over time. I try to keep it bagged up and only use, you know, new pieces, but you kind of need quite a bit of that. That does go bad over time. What else do I have? These are newer. I've started using these for helping me get bezels off. These are actually super handy, and I know there's other manufacturers out there, but try to find a name brand one or these Seiko ones. They're better metal than the cheap ones, so they're just going to hold up better. The same thing that kind of goes with even buying, you know, something like this. This is the 4932. I've been rough with this, and the same thing with like the spring bar tools. I've been rough with it, and they seem to just hold up better. It's just a better quality steel or something. You know, a little Teflon hammer, brass hammer combo. Nothing special here for tapping in split pins and stuff like that. I've gotten to the point where I almost don't really ever use the hammer. I've been able to do it with the spring bar tools and just delicately push them down in. Again, when you're doing cases and doing crystals and stuff like that, you definitely need a some sort of little blower thing here to kind of keep the dust down to a minimum. And then that in combination with the Radico, I think you'll be able to keep things kind of clean. You start looking on macro levels. If you're doing it as a hobbyist, there is always going to be something in there. I've tried and tried and tried, but that stuff just kind of sneaks its way in. Use some sort of silicone grease. I use this factory Seiko one for the case back gaskets. Always use that. So, I mean, you can see here, it's not a ton of tools. There's a couple of other tools I have kind of behind the scenes here. This guy here is a fairly inexpensive Amazon or eBay, I can't remember. And I've used it, I think, once or twice successfully with getting a bezel off. But I've had mixed luck with that. The other thing is this crystal press here. This thing's actually been a pretty good performer. I probably need to take it apart and clean it and, you know, re-grease it and everything like that, get it in there and just clean it up. But this thing's been working out actually really good. I would like to see maybe something here. I might even put something here, or I think they make another one that's solid just because I'm worried about deflection, but I don't know that it really has. I've been pretty good about getting the crystals installed properly with that guy. Occasionally I'll use this press here to pop the crystals out or do some other things, but I almost don't use this one very much at all. I pretty much use that other red one with the screw down top. So just kind of sharing the tools that I use on a regular basis with you guys. So hopefully that helps. And like I said, you're just going to have to watch the video and kind of pick to see what's going to work for you, because just this is the way I do it. Doesn't mean the way that you should maybe do it. Or, you know, chime in the comments if there's a way that you think I could maybe get better results. You know, let me know. I'm always learning and trying to adjust. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully this has helped you somehow. I don't know, but I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.